Alright. Morning, everyone. We got monkeys versus scorpions starting right now. So you know what? Let's let these two teams have fun at it, and yeah, we'll see who the best team is. I'm also refereeing this match, which is annoying. Destined with the bomb, currently taken out. Tungsten with the bomb, going for Zavi. Zavi coming up, tries to give to April. April jukes him on all levels, and Zavi is out. Pretty much held the bomb for the majority of that 10 seconds. You got Osmo going for Snick. Snick has the bomb. Snick can easily track back, and Osmo jukes himself. Now you got Snick on the truss. Bounces off. Needs to go for the opponent. Needs to go for April. April's far, far away. Passes it to Tungsten, and Tungsten is out of this round. Got Snick. Giving it to April. Snick with the bomb. Angelus with the bomb. Tried to go for a chain attempt. Didn't work out. Snick has the bomb once again. Going for Los Angeles. Los Angeles up there. Los Angeles needs to track back. And will LA get it? And yes, he does. LA wins the 1v1 matchup. However, can he win the round for his team? Los Angeles Albatross bounces back, tracks to McFlurry, and McFlurry is sent back. First win for the Lynx. Or, man, what team is that, bro? I'll figure it out in a sec. We're all wearing, yeah, okay. Angela, wait, nope. Where is it? Where's Los Angeles, bro? For the monkeys. For the monkeys. Los Angeles still holding back. McFlurry can't track and is taken out. You got April now going up against Destined. Destined holds the bomb, giving it to Osmo. Now Destined might still be the primary target. However, Osmo takes himself out. Tungsten from Destined. Tungsten needs to pass it back. Tried to make Destined and was almost successful in doing so. Los Angeles wins. That is 2-0 for the monkeys. Los Angeles. Believe he went AFK there. I'm not sure what happened. Legged out. Leg warning for Los Angeles will be issued after this round. Tungsten runs to the wall. Has no one to give the bomb to and is taken out. They got Osmo. Destined. Destined goes to the bottom level. Tries to give to Snick. Unable to do so. Snick up against Osmo. Osmo needs to give to Zavi. Zavi from Snick. And Zavi is taken out. Now you got two Scorpion players. Osmo needs to clutch up for his team. Will he be able to do so? No, he won't. First point for Scorpions. Destined with the bomb. Destined. Can he pass it over to... Passed it to the opponent. Not sure who he took out right over there. Oh, barely caught that. Now you got Destined going up for Osmo. Tungsten with the bomb. Needs to give it to Destined. However, he's unsuccessful in doing so. Osmo, can he juke Osmo and Zavi going at it? However, Zavi quickly pivots. Gives it to McFlurry. Sacked his own teammate. Now you got Destined. Destined from Zavi. Ammer, so you got Jay. Jay taking himself out. Osmo going up against Zavi now. Osmo, can he track to Zavi? Zavi back to Osmo. And Osmo back to Zavi. And Zavi is out. That is another point for the Monkeys. Zavi from April. Can April track back? No, April is unable to do so. Osmo. Osmo to Tungsten. Tungsten needs to track it back. Unsuccessful in doing so. The bomb goes over to Jay. Jay needs to track it down to the bottom levels. Zavi has the bomb. Can Amber track it back? And Amber is taken out. Now I got Zavi from Osmo. Zavi needs to give it to Osmo. Osmo has the bomb. Can he track to Snick? Unsuccessful in doing so. Great play by the Scorpions. You got Snick. He'll pass it over to Destined. Can Destined track it back? Unsuccessful in doing so. Scorpions come back within one. Zavi to Destined. And Zavi lagging. I'll call a review on the play momentarily. Destined, remaining on the bottom level. Alright, so no leg warning on Zavi. That was server lag. So we will continue without any issue. Osmo up against McFlurry. Osmo. Can he be tracked by McFlurry? No. Osmo wins it. Another point for the Monkeys. 4-2. Destin is taken out. Zavi from Ammer. Can Ammer pass it to Zavi? Zavi to Ammer. Zavi outruns Ammer and is still alive. We got April now going after Snick. Snick to back to April. April needs to hop back on the glass. Successfully does so. Takes back the bomb. Has no one to pass it to, and April sent back to the lobby. Now you got Snick to Osmo. Osmo needs to give it back to Snick. Snick has time, but can he track it back? Gives it to Tungsten. What a chain by Osmo. Now you got Osmo going for Snicks. Snicks proving to be a very strong player in this match. Snick, can he track it down? Unsuccessful in doing so. McFlurry to Osmo. Osmo has a bomb. Needs to track to Flurry and gets caught up against the wall. Another point for the Scorpions. The bomb is of Osmo. Gives it to McFlurry. McFlurry tries to track it back. Unsuccessful in doing so. Bomb is now Destined. Needs to hop back on the glass. Stick goes down. However, Destined is right on his trail. April has a bomb now. April passes it over to Destined, and Destined is successfully taken out. You got Snick going for Tungsten. Now to April. April has a bomb now. Tungsten got caught up against the truss. Wasn't sure what to do. Got confused. Los Angeles stays on the glass. Back to Snick, and Snick is taken out. Had no one to give the bomb to. Osmo now holds the bomb. Osmo needing to go for Los Angeles, who will then trail it to Zavi. Zavi hops down. Can he be tracked? Osmo is taken out of this round. Los Angeles and April versus Zavi. Zavi with 9 kills so far. Los Angeles, can he track? And Los Angeles back down, and Zavi jukes the brains out of him. Zavi to April. April trying to outrun. Jukes up against Truss. Has the bomb. April needs to track it back, and no, we are tied, ladies and gentlemen. 4-4. Tungsten up the bomb. Starting up, going up against the glass. Tungsten down to Los Angeles. Los Angeles needs to hop off a secondary level. Stays up and gets taken out by McFlurry. Sorry, McFlurry ends up taking out Los Angeles. Now you got Destined up against Snick. Snick gets caught up at the bottom. Unsure with what to do. Destined plays the glass beautifully. Osmo to Destined. Destined back to Zavi. Osmo to McFlurry. Can Flurry pass it back? No. Kind of lagged there. Didn't know what he was going to do. Tungsten to April. Tungsten to April. April tried to give it to Tungsten, but was unsuccessful in doing so. Now you got Zavi at the bottom. Zavi going for Destined. Destined with the bomb. No, Destined outruns the bomb. Destined playing the glass beautifully. Now you got Osmo up against Tungsten. Tungsten with the bomb to Destined. Destined to Tungsten. Tungsten passes it to Destined. Now it is a one-on-one to see who takes the lead. The 5-4 lead. You got Osmo up against Tungsten. Tungsten at the bottom. Gets caught up against the wall. And the Monkeys will take round number 9. McFlurry to April. April to Destined. McFlurry has a bomb. McFlurry take it out. Zavi tried to stay on the glass. Got a leg. However, gave it to Osmo without any issue. Who then gave it to April. So April ends up getting sacked by his own teammate. Now you have Zavi going for Destined. Destined, can he pass it back? Yes, he does. Zavi tried to climb the glass. Was unsuccessful in doing so. Ended up hugging the wall. Valentine's Day is over, buddy. The wall doesn't like you back. Los Angeles, can he track it? Yes, he does. Snick is taken out. You got Tungsten, the last player remaining for the Scorpions, up against Destined, tracked successfully. No, yeah. Yep, that is 6-4. Monkeys further extend the lead. Zavi to Tungsten. Tungsten has the bomb now. Back to Zavi. Zavi needs to track it. Unsuccessful in doing so. Tungsten with the bomb to Destined. Destined now has the bomb. Go for Snick. Will Snick get tracked? And the player going out is the Monkeys player. April is out of here. You got Destined. Snick. Osmo. And Destined is taken out. You got Osmo and Snick. Los Angeles to Snick. Snick needs to track someone. Gets caught up against the wall. Sacks his own teammate at Tungsten. Now I got Osmo going for Los Angeles. Osmo down to Los Angeles. Los Angeles tried to give it to McFlurry. Unsuccessful in doing so. Now you got Snick going up against Osmo. Osmo outruns, plays the glass. Snick to Osmo, and Osmo is out. The Scorpions will take round number 11. Zavi to April. April needs to pass back, and Tungsten is taken out of this round. You got Snick going for Los Angeles. Los Angeles back to Snick. Snick is out and is sent back to the lobby. You got Zavi going for Destined. Destined from Zavi. Zavi needs to pass to Destined. Destined to Zavi, and Zavi is out of here. McFlurry for the Scorpions hasn't been active. Going to try and track to Osmo. However, Osmo just jukes and outpaces him. And the Monkeys will take round number 12. Score is currently 7-5. Good April to McFlurry. McFlurry back up. And April is taken out from McFlurry. Got Los Angeles. Los Angeles needs to give it to someone, and he's unable to give it to anyone. Yeah, Osmo. Osmo to Tungsten, and he's unable to get Tungsten. Tungsten from Destined. Can Destined do anything about it? And Tungsten is out. Destined with the bomb. Gives it to Zavi. Zavi needs to make a play of it. Does he have anyone? No! Destined just jukes him. Jukes him on the ladders. Now you got McFlurry. McFlurry needs to give it back to Destined. Plays the glass. McFlurry oh my goodness! What a rebound by Destined. Made a quick mistake, however quickly recovered. Proving why Destined is a top player in the Elevate League. However, Destined is taken out by Snick and scores 7-6. Or hey, 6-7. Now you got Snick. Going for Tungsten. Tungsten to April. April sacks his own teammate in Destined. Bomb of Tungsten. Tungsten needs to come down. Gives it to the Monkeys player and is out. April is out. Now you got Snick going for Tungsten. Tungsten has the bomb. Los Angeles goes to the bottom level. Tries to take out Snicks. However, Los Angeles is out of this match. Or out of the round. Apologies. Tungsten to Zavi. Zavi to Osmo. Osmo needs to give it back to Snick. Unsuccessful in doing so. Scorpions have tied this set back up. 7-7. Bomb starts off of Tungsten, who then gives it to April. April needs to come back up on the glass. Chained through oh my goodness, to Destined, which then took out Tungsten. What a start. What a start. What a play. Now you got Zavi from Snick. Snick is out. Now you got Zavi to Osmo. Osmo outruns Zavi. Zavi has to pivot. Unable to give to anyone. Destined with the bomb. Destined to Osmo. McFlurry needs to track back. Osmo unable to give to anyone and is sent back to the lobby. Little scrum over here. Los Angeles escapes and McFlurry has a bomb. Going to April. April passes back. McFlurry has timing and outruns. You got Destined. Destined from McFlurry. Destined to McFlurry. And Destined tracks down McFlurry. What a play. It stomps on him. Monkeys maintain the lead. Scorpions so close to taking the lead, but were unsuccessful in doing so. McFlurry has the bomb now. Needs to give it to someone. Snick has the bomb. Snick takes out Los Angeles. April tried saving him. Was unsuccessful in doing so. Zavi from Osmo. Osmo going to check to Zavi. Plays the glass perfectly. And Zavi jukes, outwittles, outruns, and outplays his opponent. Now you got April. Tracked down by Snick. And April is sent back to the lobby. Snick. Snick to Destined. Snick needs to give it and sacks his own teammate in Tungsten instead. Now you got Snick to Destined. Snick unable to pass it to Destined. Tried to get a chain going through Zavi. Unsuccessful in doing so. Timing was simply not on her side. Well, Destined track it down. Snick places a glass on the truss. Jukes, unable to track, barely outruns him. We are tied, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, 8-8. Los Angeles with the bomb to Snick. Snick, can he track back to Los Angeles? No, he's unsuccessful in doing so. Will the Scorpions be able to take a lead and flip the switch? McFlurry to Destin, and Destin is sent out of here. Zavi to Tungsten. Osmo to Zavi. Can Zavi do any damage? Osmo, who then takes out Tungsten. Zavi damages his own teammate, however, it's not an issue, because Tungsten seems to be the sackbot of this match. Osmo, can he track it? No, unsuccessful in doing so. Zavi to McFlurry. McFlurry needs to make a play happen. April to McFlurry. Can McFlurry track it back? And April is sent out of here. Los Angeles up against the two Scorpion players. Los Angeles to McFlurry. Los Angeles back to McFlurry. And Los Angeles is out. And the Scorpions have taken the lead for the first time in this match. We're now going into round number 18. Will we see a potential overtime happen? April to Destined. Tungsten tried to track to April, was unsuccessful in doing so. Los Angeles to April. April to Snick, and Snick is out. Zavi is out. Los Angeles to Osmo. Osmo, can he track to anyone? No, he can't. Now you got McFlurry. McFlurry going for April. April, can he track down to McFlurry? McFlurry back to Los Angeles. No, unable to do much. And the Monkeys have tied it back up. 9-9, fellas. Snick going for Los Angeles. April has a bomb. And Osmo's out. A top player for the Monkeys is out. Not looking good for the team. McFlurry needs to track to April. Gets a chain go through Zavi. However, Zavi ends up getting the bitter end with that stick. Tungsten on the glass. Tungsten to April. Can April track it back? Pivotal track. And yes, he does. Tungsten is sent back to the lobby. Monkeys looking to make some damage. They want to get 10 points first. They want to send this match to game point. Destined. April is out. Now you got Destined to Snick. Snick to Destined, and Destined is out. Now you got Los Angeles to McFlurry. McFlurry to Los Angeles. Los Angeles needs to track it back. And he's successful in doing that. Who will get to 10 points first? Snick or Los Angeles? Los Angeles needs to play the glass down. Trying to give it to Snick. Snick plays the glass perfectly. And Scorpions have 10 points and take game point. We are now going to round number 20. A must-win round for the Monkeys. McFlurry to Osmo. Osmo has a bomb, has 20 KOs, and he will be able to put it to use in round number 20. Now I got April. April playing down, and April unable to track to McFlurry. Not looking good for the Monkeys. Snick to Tungsten. Los Angeles to Tungsten. And Los Angeles is taken out. Zavi to Destined. Destined needs to make match happen. Zavi might get tracked. No, Zavi's out. Destined outwits him. Lost Nick to Destined. Destined needs to track back, and he will be successful in doing so. Destined, the last piece of hanging fruit. McFlurry needs to go for Destined. Destined needs to track back. It's successful. Tungsten for Destined. Destined, can he send this to overtime? Tungsten outruns Destined. No! Unable to track it. And that is the set. 11-9. Tungsten clutches up for his team. The Monkeys have opted to stay. We will stay on these servers going into the next set. We are now going into the second set. Monkeys will make a comeback. They still have the opportunity to secure 2 points. Margin is pretty tight. McFlurry to Tungsten. Destined passes it to Tungsten without an issue. Zavi down. Oh, I need to change for ounce. Osmo is taken out. You got Destined going down for Snick. Can Snick? No, Snick outruns him. April tried to get a chain going. They were unsuccessful in doing so. You got Snick going for Destined. Snick can track back to Destined. Unable to do so. It is now Snick versus McFlurry in round number 1 of set 2. Destined to McFlurry. And Destined wins. First point for the Monkeys. Zavi starts down. Pass from Osmo. Zavi to Osmo. Osmo to Zavi. And Zavi is taken out of this round. Tungsten to Los Angeles. And Los Angeles is taken out. Osmo to April. And April is sent back. Osmo has a bomb to Destined. Destined now passes the bomb over. Tungsten plays Snick and Destined. Snick plays the glass. Destined follows and tracks him down like a hawk. McFlurry from Osmo. Flurry down to the bottom. Osmo plays the glass. Trick, pack, and juke. Osmo gets juked back from McFlurry. Those moves didn't save him. Destined with the bomb. McFlurry from Destined. McFlurry to Destined. No. Unsuccessful. McFlurry couldn't pass to anyone except himself. Tungsten from Destined. It is a one-on-one once again. Will the Scorpions tied early in set 2? Or will Destined extend the lead, in which he does? 2-0 Monkeys. Going into round number 3. Tungsten comes down, unable to get April out. You got McFlurry for Destined. McFlurry needs to track back to Destined, unsuccessful in doing so. Destined, can he go for Snick? Snick has a bomb now, up against with Los Angeles. Osmo in the mix, and somehow April has a bomb. Needs to track someone, gives it to Osmo, who then took out someone. What a successful chain. Osmo to Snick. Snick back to Osmo. Osmo has to track back. Snick plays the glass flawlessly. Snick to Destined. And Destined is taken out. Now you got Snick going for April. Now you got Snick up against April. Snick, can he pass it? No, Snick just, I don't know, banged his head against the roof, it looks like, or against the glass. Not sure what he was doing. Zavi getting outwit from the glass, and wait, did Zavi win that? Oh, he tracked it. Scores 2-1. Bomb is now with April. April tracks down to Zavi. Can Zavi track it back? No, he can't. April will outrun Zavi this time. A change from last round. Osmo to April. April to Snick. Snick is taken out. McFlurry to Destined. McFlurry is out. He gave up. He knew his time was over. Damien, thank you for 12 coins. Much appreciated. I see your gifts. Osmo to Tungsten, and Monkeys just dominate that round. 3-1 for the Monkeys. You got Zavi going for April. April to Zavi. April unable to track back to Zavi. I think that was a miscalculation on April's end. Tungsten needs to track it, unable to do so. Snick to Ammer. Ammer finally back in. Ammer to Snick. Destined. Destined to Snick, and Snick needs to track it back, and Destined is out of here. Osmo is out. Ammer to McFlurry. Unsuccessful. The Scorpions will take round number 5. 3-2 is the score. You got Ammer going for no one. Spins around. Sacks himself. And someone from the Scorpions is taken out. You got McFlurry up against April. McFlurry to April. April to track back. And McFlurry is out. Osmo to Destined. Osmo to April, and April is out. Now you got Snick from Destined. Snick needs to track to Destined. Successful in doing so. Tungsten up on the glass with the bomb. Selecting his target, which will be Osmo. Osmo to Snick. Snick to Osmo, and Osmo tracks Snick flawlessly. Osmo for 2 Tungsten. Tungsten plays the glass. Plays the truss. Osmo a little confused. Tungsten needs to track, and he does. 3-3 is the score. We are tied. Zavi to the bottom. Zavi to Angel. To Ammer. Ammer unable to track it back. Tungsten to April. April tracks it back flawlessly. No issue at all. Snick. Sorry, I think Tungsten was the one who got tracked. Destined with the bomb to McFlurry. Destined to McFlurry, and he's unsuccessful in tracking him down. Snick with the bomb. Going for April. On the glass, on the truss. Had no timing to track him down. You got Osmo and McFlurry. Osmo needs to track McFlurry. We're on the bottom level, and Osmo's unable to track it. Now you got April with 7 KOs up against McFlurry with 4 KOs. Who will win this? It's looking very good for the Monkeys. However, McFlurry clutches up and gives Scorpions the lead once again. April to McFlurry. April has a bomb. Tracks it back to McFlurry for his revenge. Osmo to Tungsten. This time I'll get it right. Osmo is outran and outwindled by Tungsten. Couldn't get him. Tungsten with the bomb. Once again, going for Destin this time. Tungsten had no one to give it to. I think he held the bomb for the entire 10 seconds. Not a smart play. Zavi to Los Angeles. Los Angeles needs to come back on the glass and takes out Zavi via Destined. Smart play by the Monkeys. Destined. Destined needs to play the glass. Outwindowed by Snick. No, never mind. Got Snick for the last second. Ever stomping on him. Look at the toxicity. The Monkeys are now back. 4-4. Zavi is down. Los Angeles is taken out next. You got Snake to Osmo. Osmo needs to come back down. Tungsten with a bomb. Tungsten back to Osmo, and Tungsten is out. Snick to Destined. Osmo to Snick. And Osmo's out. Destined to McFlurry, and McFlurry is taken on next. Destined to Snick. Destined back to Snick. Destined is taken out. Couldn't track down Snick, and Scorpions are back in the lead. Destin not happy with McFlurry outrunning him, outwhittling him, outpacing him. Now you got McFlurry. McFlurry to Osmo. Osmo back to McFlurry. No. McFlurry outruns him. Popping off where it matters most. We got Los Angeles taking out Zavi flawlessly. Los Angeles needs to come down to the bottom. Going over for McFlurry. Los Angeles to McFlurry, and McFlurry is taken out. Now I got Los Angeles going for Snick, and Snick is taken out next. Los Angeles ties the game back up. Hold on. Why would it be 6-3? Los Angeles. So monkeys, scorpions, monkeys, scorpions. Okay, how many times have the monkeys won? Or scorpions? So monkeys, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So we got, hold on. Let me just calibrate this real quick. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. Yep. 6-4 scorpion. What do you mean it's 5-5? Score is 5. Yeah, we're just gonna continue with the 5-5 score. We now continue on. Destined is out first. Osmo to Zavi. Zavi is out next. These teams do not want to lose. These teams will drag it on till the very end. Tungsten is out next. Bomb now of Snick. Snick tracked by Osmo. Osmo plays a glass. Snick needs to track. Unable to give to April. April stomping. Showing the toxicity that's in the professional leagues of Time Bomb. Osmo to McFlurry. And McFlurry is out. And the monkeys take round number 11. 6-5. Tungsten is out. Rice Muncher isn't toxicity banned of OTA. How come April got no pens? I don't know which iteration of the OTA you were watching back in the day. However, as per a rule change in Season 12, you're allowed to emote and stomp on players now. Zavi to Destined. Zavi, can he track back to Zed? No, unable to track to Destined. You got Destined from Snick. Snick needs to track back, unsuccessful in doing so. Now you got McFlurry going for Destined and unsuccessful in doing so. And the monkeys are finally extending their lead. Now you got McFlurry at the bottom. McFlurry going for Hyper. Tungsten with the bomb, and Tungsten is taken out. Snick at the bottom. However, the bomb is near him. It's with Osmo. Osmo going for McFlurry. Tracks it up. And McFlurry is taken out by Osmo. via Destined. Snake is out. And the stomping by Destined. The monkeys are pissed and they want to win. They want to win badly. Zavi is out. And the Scorpion, no, the monkeys win once again, further extending the lead 8-5. Osmo's out next. Tungsten's taken out next. Destined to McFlurry. McFlurry is tracking it back without an issue. Zavi is taken out. Snick to Los Angeles. Los Angeles can track back to Snick. And yes, he does. And the monkeys are just dominating now. 9-5. What is happening in the Scorpions headquarters? Scorpions should call a timeout or something, man. Because these guys are just falling apart rapidly. McFlurry tracks to April 1st. Some progress on the Scorpions end. However, it's only one player. Zavi needs to track to Osmo. Caught up against the truss. Has no one to give it to. Tried to give it to Osmo and he is not out. Zavi's out. Snick at the bottom to Destined. Destined still alive. Up to Los Angeles via Osmo. Osmo needs to give it to Tungsten. Tungsten plays the truss flawlessly and Osmo gets caught up and is taken out. Los Angeles up against McFlurry. McFlurry almost tracked by Destined, but by Angels, Los Angeles, but was unsuccessful. Tungsten to Destined. Tungsten misplays the truss, and now it is a one-on-one. Will the Scorpions stay in it? Or will Destined send his team to game point? And Destined sends his team to game point. 10-5. Starting off round number 16. Monkeys have a chance to win it and take 2 points on the standings. Tungsten with the bomb. Going for April. April tracks to McFlurry. Strong start for the monkeys. Tungsten by Osmo. Osmo couldn't track back. Zavi to Destined. Destined to Tungsten. And Tungsten is taken on next. Not looking good for Scorpions Nation. Destined with the bomb. Jumping on the ladders. Destined can't track it back. You have an even 2-on-2. Los Angeles. Snick to April. April needs to track back. Misplace. Almost tracked down Snick. Now it is a 1-on-1. 2-on-1. Los Angeles. Can he clutch up for his team? Track Snick. Snick needs to track back. And the Scorpions are still in it. 10-6. Snick to Tungsten. Tungsten with the bomb to Destined. Destined outran by Tungsten. Tried playing the glass, but he simply didn't have enough time. Osmo from Tungsten. From Tungsten, Osmo is also out next. 2 Monkeys players are down. Snick with the bomb. Going for April now. Will April get tracked? No, outplayed by April. Plays the glass flawlessly. Now I got Ammer for Zavi. Zavi to Ammer. Ammer needs to track to... Oh, now it's a 2-on-2. The game, the round has been reset. You got Ammer, Tungsten, up against a much stronger April, and... Oh, dear. Now it's a 2-on-1. Oh, dear. McFlurry. Can he make magic happen? McFlurry. Almost tracked by April. Got juked. Right over his head. McFlurry. Can he keep his team alive? Hammer. Tracked. 10-7 is the score. Scorpions were that close to losing. There is still hope for the Scorpions. Early reset on both ends to avoid penalties. Zavi's taken out first. Snick to Osmo, and Osmo's taken out next. Track down. Scorpions, we're not going down without a fight. April to Snick. Snick has time to track it back. And gives it to April. Now it is a 3-on-1. We're all up against Destined. Destined needs to track to Tungsten. Unable to do so. And the Scorpions take another win. It is 10-8. Coming back from 10-5 to 10-8. Surely the Monkeys have to end it now. Surely they do. Los Angeles sitting out for the Monkeys. Zavi with the bomb to Destined. Destined has timing and not the optimal start for the Scorpions. Destined still the primary target with 29 KOs. Destined to Snick. Destined needs to track someone and he is out. The best player for the Monkeys is out. And it is now a 3-on-3. Osmo, very strong player too, tracked by Tungsten and unable to track it back to anyone. Snick needs to give it to someone. Sacks Tungsten instead. Unsuccessful in giving it to April. Now you got April up against McFlurry. McFlurry, strong player, has had April's number, and he will again. Hey, no, sorry, Ammer is out. April's now alive. 2-on-1. April. Tracked by Snick, and now this is a 1-on-1. McFlurry for the round to extend it. Grabs it. Needs to track to April, and he does. Oh my goodness. 10-9 is the score. 10-9 is the score. It was 10-5. What a comeback so far by the Scorpions. Can they complete the comeback? Los Angeles continues to sit out for his team. McFlurry up against Ammer. McFlurry plays the glass. Ammer with the bomb at the bottom. Ammer is taken out. Couldn't pass it to anyone. Osmo. And Snick is out next. So now it is a 3-on-3. Snick was a strong player for the Scorpions. 2 mega houses for the Monkeys are still in. Another Monkeys player has gone down. I believe it was Osmo is out next. April is out next. Destined, the last player remaining alive for the Monkeys. Will he get tracked by Tungsten? No! Destined must 3v1. Now you got Zavi for Destined, and Destined is out! The comeback is complete! Oh my goodness! What a comeback! 10-10! 10-10! It was 10-5! Now it is 10-10! What a choke by the Monkeys! We're now going into round number 21. We are in overtime, ladies and gentlemen. What a comeback by the Scorpions. This team is insane. Will they continue their streak? 5-game winning streak so far. Tungsten, first player out. Holy comeback. Now you got McFlurry for Los Angeles. Los Angeles is taken out next. Los Angeles put back in. Now you got Snick going for Destined. Snick, can he get Destined? And Snick is out. You got Ammer now. Ammer going for Zavi. Zavi is taken out next. Monkeys have some hope now. Osmo and Destined still alive. Destined needs to start popping off. You can tell he's been carrying it. Osmo's out next. Now Ammer and McFlurry. Insula, McFlurry doesn't have much KOs, but proving to be the X factor for his team. It is now a one-on-one to see who will take the first point in overtime. McFlurry for Destined. Destined needs to come in clutch. And Destined finally gets a point on the board for his team. Remember, there are some flaws of overtime too. Scorpions still need to get some margin. Zavi unable to give it to Destined. Ammer to Osmo, and Osmo is taken out. McFlurry is down, taken out next. Destined is out. Got Ammer. And Ammer is out. Now it's Los Angeles up against Snick. Very important that Snick wins this. He doesn't. 12-10. The Monkeys can very well win it. Right here and then. Snicks unable to pass it to Destined. Not looking good. Zavi tried to give it back to Destined, was unsuccessful in doing so. And Tungsten is out next. Osmo's out next. This may very well end, fellas. McFlurry to Destined. McFlurry, can he give it to Destined? No, he can't. And the Monkeys win and will collect 2 points. What a game. Good luck in the playoffs, fellas. Where's Jay? My goodness, bro. All right. We stay tuned, everyone. Stay on. Stay tuned. I know we're going to lose some viewers, but we're going to go on to another electric match. Titans up against the Beasts. Beasts and Titans. No, the Scorpions will go on to the playoffs. We'll see what happens next week. The Monkeys also pointing out a very fatal flaw in the overtime procedure. Or in the set margin procedure. Because technically the Scorpions could have actually gotten a point and a half instead of 1 point. So he lost out on 0.5 points. Now it doesn't matter in Elevate. Stay tuned because we're gonna go on to the next match. Just waiting for the server to be confirmed. Len up, bro. He was supposed to commentate this match. However, he's offline. He's asleep, so he's not commentating anything. If Nopla messages me right now, he can commentate the next match, but he's not gonna come in. I can't have him coming in midway through the second match because we're not trying to disrupt the operation. All right, let's join the new server.